All right, I'm live, guys. Woohoo! This is fun. I'm just gonna set the camera here. Okay, so I am live, which means we'll probably get interrupted, and that's okay. Let me figure out the camera here. Oop, that's too close. Is that better? Because I have animals, and they will probably make sounds. That's okay. Okay, I think that's cool. So, today is the day where I try to get this painting done. It's just been sitting around my studio forever, not doing anything, just sitting there, staring at me, letting me know I need to finish it. I started this a while back for a paint party. We were doing pet portraits. I didn't finish mine because I was too busy helping other people, and so I just sat around. This is of my doggie, so I think I will finish it today so I can at least hang it up. So, here we go. I'm going to be using just 5 colors, the 3 primaries, black and white. And we'll see if I can get this done and how quickly I can get it done. So, I am not even halfway done with this thing, I don't think. And I ended up with the first layer. I haven't done anything else but some of the first layer. So, I do have a reference photo somewhere. Here we go. I need this so I know what she looks like. And then I'm going to make a doggy hair color, sort of a reddish golden color. So I'm going to start with some yellow, white, touch of red, maybe a touch of black to tone it down. So I'll start with some yellow, touch of red. Let's see what I can get here. More yellow, some white, touch of red. A little more red. Getting closer. Got some hair in there already. That was fast. And pull that out. We don't need hair in the painting. So I'll start with this color to continue working on the fur. Just kind of brush it in a little, build up my layers. And it's kind of dark in here. I think I need a light. Yeah, kitty cat. Couple lights turned on. That's better. Hopefully the cats won't jump on the table. They always do, so we'll see. I hope you guys are having a beautiful morning. I tend not to talk a whole lot when I paint, so this is really just a watch me paint live video. I'm not going to teach too much, I don't think. Been wanting to go live for a while. I just haven't had the time. Been busy. So for some of you out there that are watching, if anyone is watching, I do paint in layers. So I build up my color. So I start with really thin layers and I build up color on top of color. So that's why you can see it's pretty thin. But that's just how I paint. I think my mom painted that way too. And I work on building up values as well. So light, medium, dark. And I drop those in until it builds up to the values that I like. Okay, let's make a brownish color. So I'm going to take that color and add a touch of black and more red. See if we can't make it brown. Maybe that might work. Let me get a smaller brush. Now I'm going to start dropping in some darkness a little. It's kind of red. Add more black. If you take red and black, it makes brown. Orange and black makes a better brown though. For those of you who want to know, I have not been on YouTube as much because I've been busy with lots of other things. Because I'm a art instructor and a muralist, and so those take priority over YouTube. And I've got 2, possibly 3 murals lined up already for the summer. I need a different brush again. And I'm getting ready to do the La Strada Chalk Art Festival. I'm a volunteer there, but I'm also going to be chalking. So that's taking up some of my time too. What do I need? Ooh, what about this brush? This looks good. That look good? That looks good. So yeah, super busy. Not on YouTube much right now. YouTube's really just a fun side project for me. Not a money maker, that's for sure. But I do plan on making some fun videos when I have time. My niece is coming to visit this summer, so we'll make another kid-friendly video. We're going to do a chalk art of The Little Mermaid. So that'll be fun. She's looking forward to that, and so am I, because I love The Little Mermaid. One of my favorite Disney movies, I think. It came out when I was a kid, so I love it. Again, I'm just looking for dark areas. Dropping in dark areas. That's too dark. I lighten that a little. I also have done some commissions. So commissions, murals, teaching, chalk art festival. That's a lot on my plate already. But I don't know, maybe I'll pick up YouTube speed. Later in the fall or when the season goes cold and dark. And then I'm not as busy. If you guys want to stay up to date with what I'm doing in more real time, I do have an Instagram. The handle's the same. Caroline Green Art. If you want to check that out, go ahead. If not, whatever, don't care. Do your thing. I'll do my thing. There, she's starting to come together already. Okay, put in some dark. Let's go to light. So I'm taking that color and adding white. Make it super light, lighter. It might be too light. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, that's good. This is actually much lighter in here. Much lighter. Her eyebrows are not that dramatic. Oh, I hear a cat coming. There's a kitty cat coming. It is Mr. Ripley. Hi, Ripley. So I do have some other videos coming out this week. I've got a couple shorts and I've got a longer one of a pet portrait I just completed, but I didn't want to air it before the receiver, the client, got their painting, because I think it might be a surprise. So for somebody. So I don't want to spoil the surprise, but that should be coming out Thursday or Friday. I found that Thursday's better for releasing videos. Thursday and Wednesdays, personally. That's where people watch videos. Or at least my videos. That's too dark. So I used to do pet portraits all the time years ago. It's what I wanted to do to make money, but it was not as lucrative as I had hoped. And so I kind of backed away from that. So I don't really do them much anymore. I don't really advertise at all anymore. But if somebody reaches out and wants one, I usually will do it if I have time. If I have time. That's more darkness back in. Let's go darker in some areas. You know what I wish is that I could have music. I like painting while playing music, but the whole like YouTube copyright thing makes it impossible. So, painting in silence today, unfortunately. Kitty's talking down the hall. He's saying, come play with me. He's probably looking for Angie. This is Angie. She's outside because she's a barker. And I didn't want my doggy barking on camera the whole time. Okay. Ears. Ears need more darkness. Really? That's what it looks like. A little bit more darkness. This is really kind of dark in here. Like that. More. Hi, Mr. Ripley. How are you today? Are you just prowling? You looking for your girlfriend? She's outside. She's outside, kitty cat. More darkness. Okay, now I need to make like a mid-tone for the ear. Mid-tone, huh? Like this. It's kind of on the red side. Add some more yellow. See if that helps. Right in here. Brush that out. Well, I think her face is starting to look better here. Let's add in some whites. Angie's ready to come back inside, so I'm going to try to let her in. And if she starts barking, bear with me while I deal with the puppy. You want inside? Come on. You want a biscuit? Yes, you want a biscuit. Okay. Guess what, Angie? You're being painted. Yeah. Here you go, girl. Here you go. What do you think? Yeah. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, hopefully you don't bark. Okay, back to the white. Cleaning off my brush. Getting some white. Gotta look for those highlights now. The whitest white areas. Whitest white, so obviously in here. Brighten that up. A little here. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. I am too preoccupied with painting to fuss with a camera. It's actually kind of hard making art videos on YouTube because most of your attention is in the painting. Okay, let's work our way down a little. So when you paint a dog that's white or black, I know it's kind of hard because all you see when you look at them is the white and black, but there's lots of value differences in there. So for Angie here, she's got some grayness, some pinkness here. And then for the shadow areas that are white, I like to add blue so you can see them. So I'm gonna add some pink in and maybe a touch of gray or white in here. So even though she's white, she has white hair, it's pure white, the light is bouncing around and creating actually some different colors there. So you just have to kind of really focus and find those colors. So why don't I block in some of the pink first? I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna make sort of a skin color for her. So I'm gonna take white and a touch of red and a touch of yellow because I really want to dilute that. Otherwise it'll just be super pink. She's not super pink. So when you add yellow to pink or red, it really helps to soften the color. Kind of show you. Now it's more of a skin color there. So let's see, I'm just gonna block in maybe some of her skin is peeking through. That's it. That's good. Now maybe I'll add a little bit of gray or blue-gray for some shadows. So let's start with white. Make something really subtle here. White, tiny, tiny drop of black. That black is super powerful. A touch of blue. More white. Let's make it really pale. Let's try that. I'm going to block that in. So right through here. And here. And I'm very gentle when I paint. I work in thin layers, kind of a dry brush, very, very gentle. But this is just my style. It's just sort of what happened when I was learning how to paint. You can paint however you want. This is how I do it though. Yeah, kitty cat. Oh, Angie's getting excited. She might have to go back out. All right. Lots of shadows and stuff going on there. Okay, let's get some white. I'm going to use that dry brush technique with just pure white now. A little bit of paint. And just very gentle with my brush. Brush it in the direction of the hair to soften some of this up. See that? Soften up the color. Add some little stripies in there. So I'm a pretty fast painter, and that's just who I am. It's not like a badge of pride. It's just how I paint. I don't recommend you trying to be a speed painter. But I'm a fast painter because I have to be, because I'm an instructor, right? So I have to be able to kind of work my painting, but also help others. And then I'm also a muralist, and murals, you know, when people want a mural, they don't want to wait around all week for their mural to get done. So I have to try to finish a mural within a few days. So my point being is that hopefully I can get this done within an hour. So this painting would have taken me about an hour and a half. But this painting's rather small. It's 11 inches by, I don't know, by something. It's not very big. So hopefully I can get this done quickly and it can dry and get it framed, put on my wall, call it good, and I am done with this little project that's been sitting around my studio for like a month. That is the plan for today. So the first layer of my doggy is pretty much done. Oh, I have to do her collar. And I need to work on the background and then do another layer of the dog. So that's the process. Okay, let's quickly work on the background, get that done just a couple seconds here, and then go back to the dog. So the background is this really pretty soft pink color. I think it's called like wild flower or cornflower, or I don't know, some sort of rose. Anyways, it's white and red, plus to get it this nice soft color, you add a touch of pink. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm gonna try to match it, but I need to make the darker colors here, which has gray in it. So I'm gonna make this color and section it off and then darken it so I can get those in. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna get a new plate and just show you guys how I mix the color. Okay, so I'm gonna take red, white, and yellow. And I'll just put a scoop on here. White, yellow, a little bit of red. Okay, so I like to start with pink first. So I'm gonna make a soft pink and gradually add in yellow until I get the right color. So I'm gonna take red and white. It's a nice soft pink. Start adding in yellow. Not too much, because you can easily go to peach, and the less white you add into it, you go coral, in case you didn't know that. So not quite, more yellow. That might be too much, we'll see. Now we're getting peach. Let's see here. More white. That might be too light. We'll try. Yeah, slightly too light, which means there's too much white. So let's go add some more yellow and some more red. That's definitely darker. Hey, look at that. And it's still a little light, a little bit more. That's pretty good. Let's brush that over. So this is the second layer of background. I usually do 3 layers in a painting, unless one of the layers was thick, and then I'll just do 2, but at least 3. Sometimes I do as many as 5 layers of acrylic or oil in a painting. And again, I'm very fast and I like to do these quick brush strokes where I kind of scrub in the paint. It's just how I paint. It's just how I learned or figured out. So I'm going to scrub this in. And then go over the darks. And I like it when it's more stylistic. So I like it when you see your brush strokes. I don't want my paintings to look too photorealistic because that's just not my thing. I mean, if I want a photorealistic painting, I'll print my painting out on canvas, right? I'll print the photo out on canvas. I like to see the brush strokes of the artist. I like to see their interpretation. I like to see who they are in the work. But when it becomes too photorealistic, I feel like that gets lost a little. I mean, obviously they have great skill to do that, but it's usually not something I would do and not something I would buy. That's going to be dark. That's dark. I'm going to put in some stronger brush strokes there. Maybe I'll put in some stronger light brush strokes too. So get some white, more white into my color and brighten it up in some spots. So like over here. Do some little crisscross, add some texture. See, I like that. I like it when it's a little messy, when it's softer. You can see the brush strokes. Again, this is my personal painting. This was left over from teaching. I didn't get to finish mine during the class, so I figured I'd finish it. So I can do whatever I want in this painting. And it's just going to go above my sofa with the other paintings of all of my creatures that I have. Yeah, Angie, I know. Soften that area. Soften it out here a little. Okay, they're having fun. Now let's darken it. So I'm going to take that color that I made. I ran out, so I have to make more of that color again. So white, red, touch of yellow, and then I'm going to darken it with the smallest amount of black. I mean like a pinhead size of black. Just to make the shade of it darker. Right? So trying to make the color again, and then tiny bit, like that's probably too much, so I'm gonna wipe some of that off and take some of it back. There we go. See, too dark, but let's lighten it up. That's better. Kind of a gray pink now. Okay, that's my shadow color. I'm gonna find my shadows again. There's a shadow along her back and a shadow under her, a shadow in here. She's on the sofa, and these are the creases of the sofa. So I'm gonna gently brush those in, just a little here, and a little here, and I will have to darken it one more time. And definitely along here. And under her little tiny belly. She's a tiny dog. She's only like 14 pounds. She's a little thing. And then right through here. Oh, it's all the way along her back. Again, I'm using a reference photo because my dog's not going to sit still for an hour and a half. That's impossible unless she's passed out. Lightly brush that into the softer pink. And then I need to darken it one more time. So I'm going to get the white off, go back into that pink and add a touch of black with less white now to make it less gray. Okay, so red, yellow, more red, I don't know, that might not be dark enough. Let's go darker. That might be good. Let's try that. My brush is overloaded, so I just have to clean it off. Okay, now I'm going to find the darkest darks in the shadows. Oh yeah, that's much better. I am going over the dog again, so it's okay if I get paint on her. The shadow paint on her. She's not done. Okay, I might have to let the dog out in a second. And I need a smaller brush. Smaller brush. Let's go a little darker. We can go darker, right? I think so. Again, I scrubbed the paint into the canvas. Okay, slightly darker. What do you think? In some areas? I don't know. We're gonna see. I'm gonna see if that looks okay. If not, we just paint over it. I'm running out of color again. Looking better. Now I have to go back and lighten some areas. So it's a process. I don't start in one corner and just work my way around the canvas until I'm done, like people do with a coloring book. Again, I build up my colors in layers. So I've got to clean off my brush. I'm going to go back into that lighter pink color and brighten this. The angle's wrong, right? Shadows should start here, not up there. And then I need to go back into the dog. She hasn't had her collar done. Her eyes are not done. She needs hair. All the details I still have to do. So let's make that pink color again. A bright pink color. So white, red, yellow. Is that right? Probably too yellow. Too light. Okay, yellow, red. That's too yellow. So again, these are acrylics. They dry quickly. Otherwise, I would make a whole bunch of this color and set it aside for later. There we go. And drop the shadow down a little here. Like that. That's better. That makes more sense. I'm just softening up my lines now. Okay, well, she's coming together. Okay, so I still need to go back into the blanket and then work on the dog a little more. I haven't done the blanket yet today. Needs a touch more blue and white into it, I think. Maybe I'll do that right now. Let's do that right now, real quick. Let's work on the blanket. It should only take a few minutes here. I need a new plate, new palette. Okay, so I'm going to take white, blue, and yellow. Those are the colors I'm using for the blanket here. So I'll get my bigger brush so I can scoop it out for you. So blue, yellow, and white. Okay, and it's a soft sort of a minty green. So to make a minty green, you add white into your green. So I'm going to start by making a green. I always start with yellow first and gradually add in the blue. So yellow is my base. It doesn't take a whole lot of blue. You can see it's pretty much what was left on the brush from the scoop. That works. You add white and it softens it. Let's add more white. I think the blanket's a very minty color, or sage color, actually, soft sage color. Normally when I paint, I use a glass palette and a palette knife, so I don't paint on the plates, but the plates are for you guys to see what I'm doing because I don't have two cameras, I just have the one. So that's a good base color for the blanket. And we can lighten that and darken that too. Oh, my brush was dirty. Whoops. Okay. So I'm just going to brush in this color for the second layer of the blanket. In the areas that are sort of a mid value, and then I'll lighten it for highlights and darken it for shadows. So I really only do 3 values for each color in my painting, and then I do about 3 layers in a painting. So 3 by 3, you think of it that way. 3 values, 3 layers. So I'm just, at this point, I'm just making sure the canvas is going to be covered. You don't want a naked canvas. You don't want to see the pores. I did not do an underpainting on this one because this was, again, it was a paint party. We don't do underpaintings at paint parties. We just paint on the canvas. Normally, I do an underpainting. That way you don't deal with the pores, right? The little holes of the canvas showing. It's already covered, and so it's not an issue, but it's an issue today because this was left over from a paint party. If you guys are interested in a paint party, it's a really cool company that I work for. They're located across the US, in every major city, I believe now. And they are called Paint the Town. And it's pretty awesome because we come to you or your place of work for corporate parties or birthday parties, kids parties, bachelorette parties, you get the idea. And we bring the party to you. And I think it's like $35 or $45 a person. And we come and we set up and we teach you how to paint for 2 hours. It's an hour and a half for a kid party. And then we pack up and go. And that way it's in the privacy of your own home or business. We do a lot of team building and corporate parties, stuff like that. And you can paint whatever you want. There's a catalog online of like 300 paintings to choose from. And in addition to that, you can request a personalized pet portrait where everybody at the party paints their pet. And I show you simple steps, kind of like what I'm doing here. Only it's even more simplified at the party, so it's really great for beginners and kids. It's super simple steps. Anyway, so you would request, I want to do a paint party for pet portraits. And you send in your photos and we prep the canvas for you. So we actually draw your pet. So it's going to turn out fantastic. You don't even have to worry about the placement or how your pet looks because we do that for you and then you just paint it. You just essentially color it in during the party. So when I was teaching that one, I did my doggy. But I never finished it because I was busy helping other people, which happens on occasion. Usually I can finish my painting at a paint party, but when it's a personalized one, they don't really need to see what mine looks like at the end. I'd rather have them have their paintings finished. Okay, so the second layer is on, and I think I got all that naked canvas covered. Okay, so this is the mid-tone. So now I need to go highlights and shadows, and then the blanket's pretty much done. And then I'll finish with the dog, and then this painting is completed in about an hour and a half, I think. So let's make a light color. Shadows first or highlights? Let's do highlights first. I'm taking that color and just adding more white. That's all it is. And if you want shadow, you take the color and add more black. Pretty easy. So that's super light. That might be too light. Let's see if that's better. Okay, I'm just gonna figure out where highlights are here and drop them in gently. Well, I'm glad I got to do this live video for you guys today. It's the first time going live on YouTube. Usually I pre-film and edit videos. So this was kind of fun. And I've got a lot of other videos on my channel if you want to check out. Some of them are teaching videos, sort of like this one. Others are just fun. I'm just doing random things. I've done the chalk art one, which was a lot of fun. And I'm going to do more of those because I'm trying to take advantage of the weather here. I live in a very cold and dark place normally, and I don't get a lot of sun. And when I do, I really want to take advantage. So summertime is the time for chalk art and murals. Like I mentioned before, I've got some kids videos because I've got a niece and nephews. So I like to do stuff for kids. I used to teach at an art school for kids, so I've got some kid-friendly stuff. So I'm just looking for areas that have highlights and dropping them in like that. Almost done with the blanket. I'm gonna add some shadows and then get back into the dog, finish her up. She needs her details. Like I said, with the details, it's the last layer, so it's highlights, finish her eyes, do her collar, and add hair. And I'll show you an easy way to add hair with your brush strokes so that you're not sitting here all day long adding little tiny strokes for hair. That looks okay, right? Yeah, that's fine. Like I said, this is going above my sofa, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, let's add shadows. So it's just that green color with a tiny, tiny bit of black. Black is super, super strong. Please be careful with your black. Pin drop size is really all you need to add in at a time. That's, again, probably too much, but we'll see. We'll put it there first. Take some of this color. We'll see how that works. Okay, let's add some shadow back in. I think I can go darker in just a couple areas too. Right along the back where she's laying and touching it. Let's do that. Let's go darker. So take that black. Let's see how dark we can get it here. So we've got some super darkness right in here. Here. Right along here. What do you think? Can I go darker? Maybe a smidge? Tiny bit darker in there? Probably. Let's go tiny bit darker. Super dark, almost black. I'm going to take that color of green and add enough black that it's so diluted it's just a dark gray color. That helps to really make it pop, I think, if you push your values. Really push your values. Okay. Now let's do the collar and the hair. I'll show you easy trick to do the hair. Her collar is pink, of course, because she's my little queen. So I'm going to take red and gradually add in some white to make her pink collar. It's a very nice pink collar. I got it on Etsy. I love Etsy. I support handmade goods and small businesses whenever I can. And I found some amazing things on Etsy. This collar is one of them. Ooh, that's tiny. I might need a tiny brush. I'm gonna need a tiny brush. The area is so tiny. Let's get an even smaller liner brush here. Micro liner brush. So my doggie Angie here is a rescue. She was abandoned on the streets, pregnant. People came and took her babies and left her all alone in a park. They just snatched up her babies and left her there confused why all her babies were taken. So the rescue guys out of state found her, took her to the shelter. It was a high kill shelter. And a wonderful woman in my state goes to that state and takes as many puppies as she can before they're put down. And she does it out of the kindness of her heart and her own checking account, essentially. And so when I read her story, it was so sad. And she had just given birth, so by the time we got her, she still had her mama boobs down there. And she had to get fixed. So she had a very, very traumatic first year of life. It was very sad. But anyways, she is our princess now, and we spoil her rotten with everything she could possibly want. But if you are interested in getting a puppy, I recommend going to a shelter because there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful doggies out there that are really deserving of a home. They've had a hard life. So I'm just coloring it pink mostly, trying not to add too much detail. I know when you paint small, you can hyper focus on it and then you end up painting too much. You focus on trying to get it right, getting the details right, and you don't need to worry about all the details. It's just a suggestion. You just want it to look like it's a collar with a few brush strokes of color. You don't have to get the threading done on the collar and the exact shapes. You don't have to do any of that. So I am just worried about getting some of the color down so that you can tell it's a collar and that there's stuff going on back here like that. You can add a little bit of shadow. Try to simplify it if you can. A little bit of shadow, not a lot. So once I get this collar done, I'll go back into the doggy and add fur with that simple trick, and then I think I'm pretty much done, and I think this looks fine. It's fine for about a 2-hour painting. So this is actually a ring here that connects to her name tag, which is turned at an angle. But I may just color it like it's the name tag, again to simplify, because I don't want to add too much. It looks better when there's less detail, when you're just suggesting what it is, right? Angie's going crazy in the backyard. Must be a squirrel. Yeah, let's just turn that into her name tag, or a fake name tag. We'll just give it some gray coloring. Her real name tag is sparkly and pink, of course. I'm not going to bother with that. Let's just add some grayness into it. Just a little. You guys can't hear, but she is having a blast in the backyard. There. So it kind of looks like a name tag, right? Not perfect. gonna add a little highlight here. Angie's got a huge yard to play in now. She is the queen of the property. And she's so happy to chase squirrels and birds and eat all the sticks. And she has an amazing nose. She finds all the nuts that the squirrels hide in the property, and then she tries to eat them, which I don't want her to, but she's constantly digging up nuts. It's really impressive. Okay, where are we? We're almost done here. So, what do you think? Hair time? Let's just add in the hair, and I think we're just about done. So, when I do hair, I'm not going to sit here and add a strand at a time. That'll take forever. Sometimes I'll do a few if they stick out. But what I do is I take a 1/2 inch flat brush, and with the the dry brush technique I had mentioned before. So I get my brush really clean and really dry, and I put a little tiny bit of paint on the brush, and I quickly use very fast, short strokes to put in hair. That's all I do. So this is my 1/2 inch flat. It's pretty dry and it's moist, but it's not really wet. I'm gonna get a tiny bit of paint at the tip here. I'm gonna massage it in on the plate just a little. And then I'm just gonna quickly, do you see that? Put a few strokes in. Let me see if I can move the camera so you can see better. Okay. I don't know if I can do this holding it. Where are we? Can you guys see that? Maybe. Quick, short brush strokes with a brush that's clean and has a little bit of paint at the end, massaged into the bristles. So I dab it. So I put the paint on the brush, and on the palette, I dab it to massage in the bristles. That's what I mean. I don't touch it and like rub it and give it a massage, but I just do that just so it's loaded in there. And now we have hair. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give her some hair. You can do this with the dark hairs too. I'm gonna focus on her light hair, I think. You see that? I don't know. My camera's not very good. It's just my cell phone. I don't have a fancy camera. Hair. Look at all her hair. She's fuzzy right there. So that's me dabbing onto the plate. It's very subtle there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but all kinds of little hairs going in now. And that's pretty much it. So if you want to learn how to do a pet portrait painting more in depth, I do have at least one video on my channel I did a while ago where I kind of show you how I use various techniques. I also do sort of a glazing technique where I water down the paint a lot but then dry off my brush. And then I go over areas with that diluted thin layer of paint, and it gives it this nice glaze of color if you want to increase a color anywhere, which I can show you actually, because I can darken some of this. I didn't really darken that area. So I'm going to take yellow and a touch of red, make an orangey color. Maybe a touch of black to darken it to a brown color. I'm running out of space on my palette, and it's getting messy now. Let's see if we can do this here. So I've got my color. I'm going to add some water to it, thin it down, and then dab off the excess water on my brush. So I've got paint that's watered down, and I dabbed off. Let's see if I can do this here. There we go. Dab it off. Can you see that difference? Probably not. So it's a light glaze. Kind of see that now? So it's super watered down, dabbed off, and I'm scrubbing it in. So that's how you do a color glaze. Now I don't recommend doing that on canvas too much. Wood's fine because it absorbs the color, but that actually breaks down the paint. Meaning that if you do it on canvas and you don't have a lot of paint underneath, or you have too much paint on top, it'll actually break apart and you'll see it and it won't look good. So there is a medium you can buy for acrylics that thins it out and kind of creates a glaze. I forgot what it's called, but I think Golden makes it. There you go. You see that change in color? Okay, let's go back to the hair. Trying to get this finished so that I can get on with my day. Maybe I can brush in some darker hair, just a few strokes. Okay, let's go back into the white and just add the hair strokes. Again, with this technique, I'm taking a 1/2 inch flat brush, super clean, a little dry, going right into the white, just on the tip, massaging in the white, and doing quick strokes to create a couple dozen hairs at a time. Super easy trick. Okay, so where does she need more fur? I don't know, all over probably, right through here. She needs some highlights here, so let's just hair right there. Hair there. Let's do right under here. You might be able to see this a little bit better now. There. It's all her fuzzies. Oh, I still need to finish her eyes. I forgot about that. Okay, let's do her eyes really quick and then I think I'm done. I'm gonna stand up. I've been sitting for an hour. So her eyes. Her eyes are basically the same color as her fur. They're really pretty, but I'm gonna make them a little bit brighter so that they stand out. And then the shadows, I always add some blue to also help make it stand out, because otherwise if you just do black, it's going to look dead and soulless. You want to have a little bit of light in there, both the white light glares and then also some blue to break up that black, because black is really flat. So I'm going to do this really quick. I'm going to take some blue and a touch of white. Usually I like to use phthalo blue, but I'm just using whatever this generic stuff is. It's fine. I'm going to add a little bit of blue into her eyes, again, just to make it look not so dead. Not sure if you can see that. I'll zoom in. I'll just bring the camera to you. You see that blue? It does make a difference in person. I wish I had a good camera. Okay, let's add some color to her iris. Let's make an orangey color, close to what her fur color is, but a little brighter. Yellow, red. We'll try this color first. So tiny. My hands are not as strong as they once were. They're definitely more shaky, so I'm gonna have to support myself here a little. When I do my eyes, I always make sure that the iris color, again, has 3 different colors or 3 values in it. So I've got really light orangey color, that's about the color of her fur, and a mid-tone, and then I try to go darker or more intense. It just really kind of gives more life to your eyes when you add color, because even though they're one color, right, or 2 colors, 1 or 2 colors, it just makes it look more realistic when you add 3 colors to your eyes. Same with the dark area. Don't just put black, put the 3 colors, black, blue, white. It's just 3 by 3, like I mentioned earlier. So let's add a little bit more darkness in there. I'm going to add a touch of black into that red color. See if I can add dark brown to a couple areas. Take a look at my reference photo. So she's got a lot of darkness around here. Almost black. She doesn't really have any white in her eyes, not really. On this photo. I'm going to reduce the white. And then I need to get on her upper lid. So I need to rotate her because I cannot get the right angle to do her upper lid with that dark color. So I'm just going to rotate her really quick. Don't be afraid to rotate your painting ever, by the way. When I was in college, the instructor always told us to rotate your canvas if you have to get the right angle. And I need to check my reference photo here. It's pretty good. She's got more darkness here. Here. What do you think? Just about done? I think she's just about done. Oh, I need to add some fuzzy hair into her ears. There's always something, I swear. It's hard to get down with a painting sometimes. Should I give her a little light on her nose? Let's see how it looks. I can always paint over it if I don't like it, right? Just like that. Does that look good? Okay, let's do some hair on her ears really quick with that same technique I told you about. White, dab the tip. She got fuzzy little ears. Very soft. Very soft, fuzzy ears. All right, let's just double check some areas. This is too pink. Soften that up. That's too pink. Soften that up. Just giving a light going over with white. Soften some areas. And then one thing I noticed is this is too pale. We need to separate that with a little bit of dark gray, medium gray. To make the leg come forward, the left leg come forward, right? Because it's getting what's called muddy. Can't differentiate between the colors or what's happening, so. See that? Bring that out. Maybe a little darker, tiny bit darker. There, now it makes more sense, right? Okay, so I think I'm done. I think she looks cute. Simple little doggy painting. See if I can rotate the camera here. Ta-da! Yeah, easy. Easy, simple dog portrait with really inexpensive acrylic paints using 3 colors and black and white. So that's it. And this is what I used. That's what we use at the paint parties. Again, if you're interested in a paint party, I'll see if I can go back and put the link down below, but it's called Paint the Town. These are the paints we use. And yeah, so thank you all for watching. It's my first live video, an hour and a half already. Wow. Okay, so it was a 2-hour painting. I worked on 30 minutes at the paint party and the rest here, but she's done. I'm going to frame her and put her on the wall with the rest. So thanks for watching, everyone. Again, other videos on my channel, and I'm going to release another video this week. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. Bye.